Hi, welcome to queue assignment clarification. All tickets are assigned to a queue in Freeside, and tickets constitute all issues and actions that are required for any customer, and that's including but not limited to repairs, billing, service, voicemail, messages from customers, emails from customers. All tickets are to be placed in the appropriate queue, and this is determined by what action is being requested as documented on the ticket. An employee can be assigned as a first responder on a ticket, and what this means is that you are responsible for this queue and ensuring the action required is being performed. You are Tier 1 issues. Secondary responder means that you are responsible for assisting when the primary person cannot perform what is being requested without direction or action being taken by you. So you would be Tier 2 issues. The third responder, and what that means is that the first two responders have escalated the issue up to the high as it can go, and it requires further assistance than what they're capable of providing. So you are Tier 3 issues. If you are assigned responsibility of a queue, the tickets that are placed in that queue are not to be moved. The only exception would be if the ticket was placed in there in error. An incoming voicemail accidentally went into the wrong queue, or an email went into the wrong queue, and then you have the permission to go ahead and move it to the appropriate queue. If you require information, assistance, action, anything in order to perform what is being requested on that ticket, since you cannot move it, you need to create a child ticket. You assign your name as owner of that ticket so that you're copied on all action that's taken, and a copy of all the documentation and communication that happens on that child ticket, so that you can go ahead and perform what's needed to be done on that. Guidelines for all tickets. You're expected to touch tickets daily. This means that tickets are to be reviewed and documented. If information or assistance has been requested, then email that person or that department and request status of your request. It is your responsibility to ensure that the action required is performed, or that you get to a point where you can resolve that ticket. Tickets are to be resolved within 1 to 3 business days maximum. The only exception to this would be telco orders, which can take longer to complete. Tickets that are created by incoming customer emails or voicemails, they are to be responded to as defined in the employee manual, responding to customer communications. And it states that the following time frame should be followed when responding to customer communications. If this is not met, then extra time or overtime can be allowed, but you need your manager or supervisor's approval for that. Emails are to be responded to within 6 business hours. Voicemails within 4 business hours. That's working hours. So if it comes in at the end of the day, then you will have until the following morning to respond. If a customer communicates to you via email, it's satisfactory to respond via email because they've identified that that's their preferred method of communication. If a customer communicates via voicemail, then you should give them a phone call back. They're more comfortable speaking with you over the phone. We have a list of all the queues. The primary responder or first responders identified, the second responder, and the third responder. And this will be published and given to all employees. And the information will also be available on the wiki if you have any questions or concerns at any time about who to go to. And you can be responsible for multiple queues. So sometimes it can get a little bit confusing depending on what the queue is pertaining to. So for example, in IT and tech support, the primary responder to that is our customer service and tech support person right now, which is Adam Briggs. And the secondary responder is Wes, who is director of our wireless division. And the third responder is Jake, which is our system administrator. So if a tech support issue indicates that someone's having trouble with their internet service, comes in, and Adam's exhausted all of his avenues, normal tests that he performs to try and isolate the issue, has not been productive, then his next step would be to go to Wes for assistance. So he would create a child ticket and make Wes aware that his assistance is required. And if Wes is unable to assist in the issue and resolving it, then at that time they will go to the system administrator and request that he give them some direction. So it's escalated all the way up. Indiana Telephone Network orders. That's our provisioning department for telephone orders and DSL orders. The provisioner is currently Brandon, and he would handle all those orders based on the tickets that are generated asking him to place an order. If he has any issues or roadblocks in placing that order, then he would go to the secondary responder, which is myself, Melanie, his manager. And then if we run into further obstacles placing the order, then we would possibly escalate that up to Eric Wiggs. So this should give you an idea of how our ticketing system works and the queues that they're placed in. Thank you very much.